But so then, should we skip ahead to the next part of this Ricochet effect that Braun had here?
Well, yeah, we're not going to review the AOP versus Miz and R-Truth. I can tell you that.
No.
Is that the worst stable in wrestling? The AOP, Paul Ellering, Karrion Kross, and Scarlett?
And I mean, Paul, I don't know why is he even there, and I love Paul Ellering, so give him some reason, something to do. Let him. Is he?
The one thing he had going for him was his promo. He has not said a word.
He's there. He doesn't interfere. He doesn't get hit. He doesn't hit nobody. I don't hit nobody. Nobody hits on me. Nobody.
Well, not hits on him, but hits him. But
nobody hits him, and he don't hit on nobody.
Well, that was the AOP Miz and R-Truth review. But let's go now to after the match. Braun Breaker and Ricochet still fighting.
They're in the back. Well, they're not still fighting. They've been separated, but now they're going to fight again. Because there comes Braun, and they're in the back at the loading dock or wherever, and he spears Ilya through a table or something or other. And then Ricochet gets on him, and they go out in the parking lot. And Braun then beats him up and picks him up, like to recreate in effect, the lawn dart throwing of Rey Mysterio by Kevin Nash, right? That's who it was. In WCW, where he threw him head first into the fucking production truck.
That's right.
But the Rey Mysterio didn't take the fucking bump like that. And by the way, poor Jimmy Hart. It was his face. He and Hulk Hogan are on the side of this truck. And he fucking throws him into Jimmy Hart's face. But go back, anybody, and watch this bump and tell me that I don't see any way in the world that Ricochet meant to take not the bump into the trailer, but to bump on the concrete. I don't think that was intentional. I think he hit too hard, lost control of himself, because I don't know why anybody would do this on purpose. I wrote, did he mean to do that? What the fuck? That was the hospitalization bump right there. Then Braun picks him up and takes him up the stairs of the truck and power slams him off the walking stairs of the TV truck into a car windshield. Fine, the car bump or the concrete bump was worse than the car bump, the windshield bump. The bump that Ricochet took himself off of being thrown into the fucking truck. That's why I'm thinking, is he working a goddamn insurance scam? Is he just, hey, these motherfuckers, I'll fix them. They want to write me off this way. When he throws me in that fucking truck, I'm going to paralyze myself, and they'll have to goddamn pay me for the rest of my life. That's the way I would view preparing to take that fucking bump.
Well, you'll know whenever he has his next match, because his style would completely throw the Lloyds of London defense out the window.
I'm telling, go at any point. Go and look in slow motion, if you will. But even then, the sickening thud, it was not a sound effect that was added. That was nat sound, as they notate on the reels. No, what the fuck? Either Braun pitched him too hard or too fast, or he just completely said, well, fuck this. I'm just going to bounce off that thing, not even try to put my feet under me. Because it was a George of the Jungle fucking moment. So anyway, they took him out in an ambulance, and Samantha Irvin was great, crying and wanted to ride with him. They acknowledged that they are together. And she was fantastic. She might have been the best part of the whole thing, because I found fault with everybody else.
After the fact, WWE put up a tweet with an image of Ricochet laid out. Breaking, after suffering a brutal attack at the hands of Braun Breaker this past Monday on WWE Raw, Ricochet will be out of action for an undisclosed amount of time with upper body injuries. And the rumor is the undisclosed amount of time may be 3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years. Just on first diagnosis. Now, we can see a specialist, but on first diagnosis, we believe he'll be out 3 to 5 years.
You know, the bigger story beyond this angle, which is a big angle to do, even though everyone knows Ricochet's leaving, because otherwise this angle would be to build up him returning to fight Braun Breaker, and it doesn't look like that's happening. But the show hasn't had Cody Rhodes. It hasn't had CM Punk in a while. It's all of a sudden not centered around Braun Breaker, but they're taking someone who's brand new to the main roster. I don't care who watched NXT. It's a different show altogether, even though they share some fans. And they're building the main stuff on the show around him. Even though Drew McIntyre still has his match and everything, it was really about Braun Breaker. Everyone was talking about Braun Breaker coming out of this show. The ratings may go down a little bit as they're building up new stars, but they're building up new stars.
Yeah.
And it's working. I think it's working.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's another thing. They're lame duck anyway, kind of, with the Raw ratings. What's going to happen? Well, you going to cancel us early or whatever the fuck? And remember what Eddie Graham used to...
That's a good point.
Exactly. You know, the ratings aren't going to fucking plummet if they, come out there and have chicken fights. But remember what Eddie Graham used to say, or people used to repeat about Dusty was so over in Florida, but Eddie Graham would try to book him out ever so often because then he could feature someone else, because how do you get over Dusty? Or Jerry Jarrett do the same thing sometime with Lawler after 10, 12 years, he'd take a vacation or go work Hawaii or whatever. They'd try to get somebody over. How do you get over Lawler with him there? There's an element of, if all of the big stars bombard the show, then how do you get over them? And some people, rise to the occasion, and some people limp across the finish line. But and this show limped across the finish line because guess what? When Drew wrestled Finn, Drew hit him with a fucking kick and beat him 1, 2, 3. So they're barred from ringside, which the heels offered to do to begin with somehow, for some reason. I don't fucking know.
I really hope Drew gets screwed over, just because I think the outraged Drew McIntyre is my favorite Drew McIntyre. Yes. He sells it so well. Just how outraged and pissed he is, and everyone else should be pissed. And
he's indignant. He's grumpy. He's a fuss budget.
And I guess for the record, we'll be reviewing Clash at the Castle on The Experience this week.
Apparently we will, because it's Saturday afternoon, I guess, or is it Saturday morning? I think it's Saturday afternoon at 2. One of these days, they're going to have a fucking major goddamn premium live event Thursday at 3 a.m.
It'll be an interesting test. But with that, Jim, that's the end of Raw. Raw ends at 11 p.m. if you're not going to watch your late local news or Seinfeld on Channel 11. Maybe you just want to go right to bed, a very comfortable night's sleep on a Helix mattress.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Brian, you are exactly correct. You need a good night's sleep. You need a good night's sleep to stay healthy, to keep a good frame of mind and body and soul. You need sleep. You need rest. You need recuperation time. And a lot of people ain't getting that in this high-priced mattress environment. And you may hear behind me right now, it's something I'm about to talk about. As a result of that, the gardeners are next door. They're mowing the backyard.
See, they're everywhere.
Of the house next door to me.
Told you this would happen.
But because of these high-priced mattress stores, now, ever since the mattress industry merged with the all-night wicker stores to create a mega store, well, you just can't hardly get in these places anymore without spending thousands of dollars. I'm talking ridiculous amounts of money. And you have to lay on old used mattresses that other people have been on with their various DNA trickling from their different orifices. But also, that's if you got the money to go in there to begin with, and they let you in the door and they let you behind the velvet rope, and then you're just on your own to just copulate all over these sample mattresses, probably something they'll end up sending to your house. And then you got to lug it up the stairs. It's a It's a costly and time-consuming process, and you could be laying in somebody's stainage. But our friends at Helix have a different way. Because, see, now, since these mattresses have gotten so expensive in the stores, many people have reverted to sleeping out in their backyard in the good weather. Did you know this, Brian? That's why they're mowing the
No.
grass over here, because the neighbors, they just said, fuck it, our old mattress wore out. We can't afford a new one. So we're just going to sleep out in the backyard on that soft, cool grass.
I have a tough time imagining that.
Well, I look at them out there every night in their pajamas, and they kick each other in the shins. One of them has the Jimmy legs. But a lot of people are turning to this, but you don't have to sleep in the grass.
A lot of people are turning to what?
To grass sleeping. And well, what else are you going to sleep on your floor?
Is it considered a new thing or a throwback?
Well, it's a new throwback. See? They've thrown you so far back, you've come up around and met yourself the other way, and now you're brand new, breaking ground.
Are there any trees involved? Are you just laying in grass where there's no trees?
Well, no, you should sleep under a tree because it'll keep some of the rain and the bird shit off of you. See, the birds don't shit as much when they're sitting there in their nest as they do when they're flying to and from. You could just get hit with random bird shit out in the open because they're flying. They don't care. They let it go like a Delta 747. Just evacuate the shit. But I digress. It's good to sleep under a tree, except in a storm. And then it could be bad to sleep under a tree. But it's better to sleep on a mattress.
That's
See,
right.
That's the thing.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm trying to discourage this new trend of grass sleeping. That you question me. I see you cut up the grass clippings and you spread them out. You've got kind of a padding there also. But you don't have to do that because you can go to our friends at Helix, because the folks at Helix, not only do they make great mattresses that don't contain either grass clippings or fiberglass. There's no fiberglass, and they are fiberglass free. There's no thumbtacks. There's no asbestos. And there's no fiberglass. There may be some syrup of ipecac just added for color. But nevertheless, Helix has mattresses for everybody. Whether you sleep in a strange position or get into strange positions before you go to sleep, you want it soft, you want it hard, you want it firm, you want it for big people. The bigger, the better. Or even something for the kids. And they got the long manufacturer's warranties and the 100-night free trials. And the best part is they will send it to you in a hermetically sealed plastic bag inside a box that is manageable for a human being to take to the place that it will then be unboxed and unfurled into the position it needs to be without these shady delivery people coming and trucking a thing up the stairs and knocking Aunt Fanny's picture off the wall. And the best part is, right now, we can save you money because Helix is offering up to 30%. Now, this is bigger. It's bigger and fatter than the discounts of days gone by. 30% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows. Because what are you going to sleep with no pillows? What are you, a savage? If you go to helixsleep.com/JCE, Helix, Helix, it's like Felix the cat, but get the F out. helixsleep.com/JCE, up to 30% off all the mattress orders and 2 free pillows. Order mattresses for everybody. Every room of the house. Put a mattress in the kitchen. Put it on top of the kitchen table. It could figure into some kind of goddamn weird marital game you might want to play.
Called
or
sleep.
Get all the kids.
It's called sleep.
Well, also, if you're a Mormon and you got 18 kids, or you're one of these people on the reality TV shows that religion prevents you from not impregnating your wife every goddamn 9 months like a fucking brood mare, get them for all 18 kids and just stack them on top of one another. Build something with your hands. If it's the Mormons or the Amish have build furniture and have a lot of kids.
Have you ever gone to Amish country?
I've passed through there, nearly hit a couple of horses.
But you never stopped, got some pretzels or anything?
No. I don't like pretzels.
You don't like pretzels?
I don't like pretzels. It's just more fucking dough to eat. Now, the little crunchy pretzels, they're salted, but you can get those in a bag. You don't need to go to any specific geographic region.
You hate
But otherwise,
dough.
it's just a bunch of mushy dough.
You hate dough. You hate
mushy, stale dough.
You hate the pizza crust. You hate pretzels. Very interesting.
Dough is a support mechanism, not a goddamn main course. And with that, folks, if you need a good support mechanism for your bad back or whatever the case if you say you got a bad sternum, say you've got a bad pelvis, say you've got a bad sphincter, whatever it is.
Why?
It'll feel better.
Okay.
On a Helix sleep mattress. Again, helixsleep.com/JCE, up to 30% off all the mattress orders and the 2 free pillows. If you need more pillows, you can buy them. They're being generous enough. Go there right now. Helix, better sleep starts now.
All right, well, it's time to wake up.
Hey!